I thought this was gonna be a lot more difficult. Do not do this. This is not what you wanna do. You don't want hot wires just hanging off the end. And that's it, it's that easy. Hey everybody, we're at a house today and we are going to be installing some permanent outdoor LED lights. So the ones that we have are the Lumary Permanent Outdoor Eve Lights Max. Lumary was kind enough to send us a set to get installed on this house. And what they asked is they wanted an actual Master Electrician's review of their product. I'm gonna be completely honest in this review. I've never opened this box. I have watched some other videos on it. I wanted to make sure that they were a reputable brand before I promoted it on our channel. So we're gonna go step by step. We're gonna open up the box. We're gonna run through it and see if they have everything that they need in there. And I'm gonna give you an honest review from a Master Electrician's perspective. There will be a link in the description. So if you'd like to pick these up, feel free to use that link. It does help support our channel. So let's jump right in. The Lumary Permanent Outdoor Eves Lights Max. It's 158 feet long. They say there's 120 lights on here. They're RGB AI, rated for outdoor, 120 volts, you can plug it in, no problem. 96 watts, IP65. So it's rated for outdoor use. So when we open the box, we see 4 different little boxes inside here. So we got the first box open. Looks like we have a power supply here. It has a nice long lead here. So it looks like we can go from a lower receptacle down low. Let's say it's right on the outside of your house down low, and you need to get up to your eave. This looks like it's long enough for that. Then it looks like we have these jumpers here. This has no lights on it. It looks like it's just a jumper to go maybe from one eave to the next. And then one more jumper here. It's a smaller one, so maybe another eave. Perhaps you can take this jumper, connect it to this jumper if you need to go a really long distance. Next we have the remote. Then we have these sticky backs. These are gonna go on the back of the lights. It's got a hole in the middle so we can put a screw through it. Got these other sticky backs here. These are the clips that hold the wire up so that you don't end up with drooping wires between each light. And here we have more screws and anchors if we need them. These other boxes have all the lights in them. So right out of the box, you can see you have a set of lights here and a set of lights here. So I got one set here. This is from this empty box here, one set. Right out of the box, it's already connected to the second set. So another important step here is it says, before installing the permanent lights, please connect each segment of the lights and then power on. So they want to make sure that there's no power surges or anything to the LEDs themselves. One thing that's really critical, this is the power supply. Coming off the power supply is a female end. Here, come in here real quick. This is the female end. You need to make sure that when you start installing the lights, that you have the male end facing the power supply. If you do it the opposite way, you're going to go to plug it in and you're not going to be able to plug it in. One thing I really like about this is these connections are really good connections, and they have a gasket right here. You can see it, gasket right on the edge that helps them to stay waterproof. So I really like that. So we have it all plugged in. I'm gonna plug it in and I wanna test all these lights before I start putting them up, because sometimes from the manufacturer, you get a bad strand. So we wanna know that before we screw all these up and end up having to take them back down again. We're gonna go ahead and test these. Another thing that I really like about this is there's a controller right here, right outside. So there is app control on this if you want to get all crazy with it. But for normal situations, you can just press this button and it turns the lights right on. All you do is you press this little button and it changes it. So it'll go solid colors, red, green, blue, soft white, and then bright white. And then you press it again and it starts doing different patterns. So it'll start jumping around. Again, you have more control with the app that they have, but this is pretty cool if you don't want to have to deal with the app. This works out well. So I'm looking at the wire, and it's a pretty durable wire. It is a little flimsy, but it feels strong. So we've installed a lot of other C9 lights and different types of holiday lights. It's got a really nice coating that gives it a really good weatherproofing. So I do like that. The light itself, here, come in here. The light itself has a hard plastic cover. I like it. It's not loose. Everything seems pretty quality on it. And this is what they had in the box over there. You can see this thing just slides off. We'll be able to put a screw right through it and then slide the light back on. And it's really tight on there. So I like that. I mean, I'm pretty surprised right now. Unfortunately, the house that we're at, it doesn't have any receptacles up high. So we are going to either, number one, need to install our own up high, or we're gonna use this one down low that's right here. So we're gonna plug in the power supply there, and then we're gonna run the extension all the way up to the top, and right there is where our first light's gonna go. Make sure that that's the male side. Electrician on an aluminum ladder. All right, so the instructions for the 3M sticky back, when we're going to install this, it says that you need to wipe the surface with an alcohol wipe. I would just go grab from Home Depot or Walmart or something, a big bag of alcohol wipes. Here, we don't really need to worry about it because this is a rough surface and it's wood. That's why I wanna make sure that we put the screw in. And one thing I do like here, they give us tech screws. For those of you who don't know, that's a metal drilling tip. It's not the greatest for wood, but these things don't weigh anything, so I'm not too concerned with it. Just go nice and easy with it. If you want, you can even just use a screwdriver with your hand. You don't have to have an impact. So one thing that I really like to do when I'm putting the lights up is to make sure that they're plugged in. Just in case when we install one of the lights, something happens to the wire, you'll know that it happened right there. All right, so you take the sticky back, you peel the back off the sticky, and then make sure you install it the right direction where it's gonna slide on that way. Because we wanna make sure we can run the wires all along the bottom of the fascia. If you're going on the front or the back, it doesn't matter. Make sure that you put the slide face in the right direction. So once you get it stuck on there, if you wiped it with alcohol or whatever you did, then you just wanna take the drill or a screwdriver, nice and easy until you feel it suck on there. And there you go. You take the first one, just slide it in place. So once you get a couple of them up, all you need to do is just take the sticky back off. Make sure whatever your surface is that you clean it off. For me, I'm not gonna use alcohol. I just need to make sure that there's no splinters coming off of here. Take the sticky back off, stick it on, so you have the perfect dimension apart. Pull it off, and then screw it on. And that makes it to where your distance is exactly where you need it to be every single time. I thought this was gonna be a lot more difficult. This is phenomenal. So separation, 16 and 11/16 is the dimension apart if you wanted to know what that was. Man, it's really cold out here. It's November and it's 70 degrees out. It's chilly. So when I get to a corner, this is what I do here. I just measure with my fingers. I run the wire to where the next one's gonna land. Perfect. And then what we wanna do is we wanna take one of these clamps for the wire, because this is gonna hang pretty bad right here. We put the clamp up. It's got a sticky back on it as well. So get it started with the sticky back. You wanna make sure you don't pinch the wire there. These screws are stainless steel because they're exposed. And there it is. Holds it up nice and neat. Good to go. All right, so I'm kind of OCD when it comes to the peaks. So I want to show you what I do here. This isn't gonna line up. As you can see, it doesn't hit the actual peak. So what I do is I just put the light wherever it lands on the next one. And then for the center one, I put it dead in the center. And then the next one you'll see, I match the distance from here to here. You can't get these lights all the way up in the peak there. So what you need to do is get a longer screw, and we're just gonna allow this to hang down lower. So I'm gonna screw this in real quick. As you can see there, I kind of just bunch them up right there at the peak. And it actually looks really nice when it's done because it lights up extra bright at the peaks of the roof. So I'll do that there. And then I'll also do it on those two peaks right there. And there you have it. Installed, we got the lights at the peaks, comes around, got it strapped up in that corner, goes over to here. And then I'll probably put some straps right there on that wire that goes down. And the cool thing that I've been thinking about, when you're done, all you gotta do is disconnect that connector right there, roll this cord up, and take the power supply and put it away. All right, so the next step, I need to connect from the lower eave right here to the upper. So I have some wire left over. It says in the manual that you're not supposed to cut the wire, but I'm almost positive there's a way to do it where they still work. But here, I actually need that extra wire. I'm gonna hide it up in the rain gutter, up at the top of it with some zip ties, where it's not gonna get wet if it does rain. And then I'll use this jumper cord right here. As you can see, it's just an extension. It comes in the box. You get 2 of them in one box. So this will take you from one eave to the next, or if you need to go from up high down to low, whatever it is, this thing's gonna work perfect. All right, so if you can see there, we got the uppers all the way up over to this location. We're gonna have to use an extension ladder for this. Over there in the corner, as you can see, I ran the wire up inside the gutter and made sure it's not gonna get wet. And then I ran the wire, and there's a couple extra lights there. So what I did is I just wrapped black electrical tape around them so you can't see them. So it's blank on that corner of the house until we get to that upper light right there. It works out real nice. Peel, 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 stick, 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 pop, 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 screw, 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 click, click, click. These are turning out to be a lot easier than I thought. Check your ladder, 4 to 1. Should have gotten a boom lift to do this. Be much easier. Tell you what, this is one of the easiest light installs I've ever done. So easy. Do not do this. This is not what you want to do. If you're gonna go up to a second story, you need to get a boom lift. Bing bong. And then like, ouch. Splinters hurt. Like I was saying, just take it, peel it off, see where it's gonna go, clean that spot off a little bit, and then just stick it on nice and tight. And you can pop it off, and then slide it on. Done. So everybody has problems when they come to the end of the eave and they're left with a whole bunch of extra lights. I just checked it, it doesn't show this in the manual. Disclaimer, you have got to do this with the power off. Do not have it plugged in. All you want to do is you want to go in between the 2 lights. So let's say this is the end of my eave and I want to get rid of, I don't know, let's say I want to get rid of, 5 lights. That's hanging off. Come to the middle of the 2 lights and just cut it. But I want to show you, after you cut it, these are going to be hot once you plug it in. So you need to make sure the power's off and then get some diagonal cutters or something that can cut in between these 3 lines. And you want to snip right in the middle of it. Just like that. And then you want to pull them apart. Once you split them open, you want to put wire nuts on them. Make sure they're separated and then tape them up. And then tape all of them together. And that way you know that you're safe. You don't want hot wires just hanging off the end. Peel, peel, peel. Stick, stick, stick. Pull, pull, pull. Screw, screw, screw. Click, click, click. And that's it. It's that easy. All right, you guys ready? You want to see what it looks like? There it goes. It looks really good. I'm pretty excited about it. The neighbors have already made multiple comments about it and asked me exactly which type they are. Again, these are the Lumary Permanent Outdoor Eave Lights Max. So there's 3 ways to control this. I showed you already that there's a controller right on the power pack down there. We also have the remote that comes with it. This does lots of different things, so you can turn them on and off. You can pause them. You can change the mode. You can dim them. You can also turn them all red, all green, all blue if you want. And then the 3rd way is with the app. So we're gonna go through the app real quick. First thing you wanna do is open the app and create a login. Once you have a login created, what we need to do is add your lights to the app. In order to add the device, you need to go to the controller that's right outside by the power pack. You wanna press that button and hold it down until the device shows up on the app. After that, it's gonna ask for your Wi-Fi password so we can connect the device to your system at home. If you did it correctly, you'll see the device right there in your app. Then it's gonna ask you which system you bought. It's asking specifically here, how many lights did you buy? And there we go. We can see all the lights that we have. We can control them inside the app. Each one of those dots that you see there is individually controllable. So you can change the color on each one of those lights. If you click on the color palette icon at the bottom, that's for the scenes. So as you see there, there's a whole bunch of different scenes. The scenes make the lights do a lot of different things. So you just click on it, go down the list until you find the one that you like. You got lots of different ones to choose from. If you're not someone who likes colors, you can change the color temperature And you can have warm white lights and you can have bright white lights. One of the big questions that everybody has is, can the lights play to music? And the answer is yes. There's even different scenes for the music itself. So what I like to do is just get a stereo system or a little boombox, battery powered, put it outside and play some holiday music, and we're good to go. You can also set schedules. You can set times on and off. You can choose what days of the week. You can set off schedule, on schedule. You can do lots of different stuff with the app. Another cool feature is if you bought multiple kits, you can sync them so that they work together in tandem. All in all, I think the app is phenomenal. All right, so we got it all done. Everything looks great, but let's go over the pros and cons on this set so that you know whether this is good for you or not. So the cons, I only have two. One, I wish that we could add more to the length of this run. This is the biggest set that it looks like they sell. It is 158 feet long though. The house that we're at, it's pretty intricate and it needs a lot more than most houses do, especially considering we're jumping from eave to eave. For most houses, this isn't gonna be an issue. Second, I wish that there was some sort of splitter that we could add in line on the wire so that we can come straight down with a jumper so that we didn't have to tape off all of the lights. But again, most houses you don't have to jump from the top to the bottom a whole bunch. And even here, having to jump from the top to the bottom, all we had to do was tape up the lights so that you can't see them. Other than that, everything is great. The installation was phenomenal. It was way easier than I thought it was gonna be. The lights look amazing. The controller works good. The app works good. I mean, for the money, you can't really get anything better than this. Another huge pro is that you don't ever have to take them down. They get to stay up. You can have whatever color you want for any holiday. Overall, I absolutely love these lights. I think they're gonna work for 99% of the people who wanna buy them. Well, that's it. If you wanna pick up the Lumary Permanent Outdoor LED Eave Lights Max, the link's gonna be in the description and it's also in the comments. The other thing is, if you guys have any questions, if you wanna know what different patterns or what different colors or how many different colors, or you have questions on the installation process, feel free to leave a comment and I'll try and respond to you as quick as I can. And as always, if you'd like to learn more about electrical installations, feel free to check out the videos right here or the one video right here. Thanks so much. We'll see you on the next one.